We are recording. Okay, awesome. Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to part two of The Hero in Me. I have Mr. Berto and Miss Kira joining us part two, guys. Welcome back.
Hello, thank
Hello.
you.
That's my little clap.
Nice, nice. Thank you, thank you.
I'm learning, guys. I'm learning.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm so glad that you guys have joined and came back for part two because you left us on a heavy cliffhanger for part one. For those of you that are just hopping in on part two, I encourage you, I implore you to go back and listen to part one. In part one, we get to know a little bit more about Kira, her background, where she's coming from. But since you're already here, you're probably not going to go back, so that's all good. But just make sure at some point you guys go back to part one. So, Kira, when we left off in part one, we left off on some heavy stuff. Your overdose experience at age
Yes.
16, at only 16.
Mhm.
Um, can you take us through the next like 10 years quickly? Just let us know. Like, I thought that an overdose experience at such a young age would have been that spatula for you, that flip to say, okay, I'm done.
No, there was a lot of psych wards for self-harm because I was cutting. There were more rehabs, halfway houses.
Oh my goodness.
Um, I was selling heroin for a while. I was raided. I lost two children in that whole mix. I put one up for adoption and the other one my mom had.
Wow, man.
Um, yes, let's see, I went to prison after I got raided. I did a year in the penitentiary. And then after that, I was sleeping on subways. I was sleeping at the airport, like pretending that I was traveling. I was,
Train.
sleep on the train, sleep on abandoned buildings with no air or no heat in the middle of the winter in Chicago winters. Lower Wacker Drive, like on the side of the road, just wherever I could put my head. I was a hustler. I would panhandle for money every day and get
Man.
high. And that was pretty much
Man.
some that.
So, okay, so this is the life basically that you're living now and largely due in fact to your addiction. You're just
Yes.
doing whatever, however, just so that you can get to that next, high. At what point does this flip? Because, like I said in the last episode, this couple sitting before me does not match with the story that you're telling me. So, at some point, there was a spatula moment, there was a flip that happened. So, can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. That when I met Berto, really, I had met him. I got on methadone. I was still getting high at this point. And I had met a girl at my methadone clinic who was living with Berto at the time. And she and I became really good friends and we started hanging out. So I met Berto through her and she ended up going to jail. And Berto asked if I would watch her kids or watch his kids and take them to school and stuff. And he would pay for my methadone. So while he was at work, I would sneak out and get high after taking the kids to school and
Oh my
then pick them up
goodness.
from school. Yeah, pick them up
Yeah.
from school and come back home. And I was trying to lie to him and tell him that I wasn't getting high anymore, but I still
My
was.
friend caught her in the spot,
Yeah.
and he passed by on the bus, and he said, "Hey, your girl's at the spot," and I said, "No, she's not. She's at home. I was at work, but I had bought
Oh,
her a brand
Kara, you
new."
got busted.
I'm on the west side by all the dope boys, like getting my stuff, and he's
Right?
on the bus going by. And
Yeah, she has this baby fat hat that I just got her. That's how
That
she got
baby
caught.
fat.
Baby fat hat.
yeah, I'm on the west side, and he's driving through to the south
Rocking the
side.
baby fat hat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
yeah.
got
So
a picture of it too.
you told on yourself, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, but I still tried to play it off. I jumped on the bus because we lived really close to the dope spot. So I just jumped on the bus, ran home and turned the shower on. I was like, oh, sorry, I was in the shower. I didn't mean to miss your call. And he's like, you're home? And I'm like, yeah, you don't hear the shower? And he's like,
Right.
but
Suspicioso.
That, this
yeah.
is this is funny. So when I got home that day from work, I had gave her, I believe it was like $60 to pay the electric bill.
Mm.
Okay. So I found, when I went in the bathroom, I found a needle with blood. I
Ooh,
remember.
okay.
So I already know she was laying on the couch, knocked out.
This is all the same day that you got
Same day
that call.
that
Okay.
she got that call, and I told her, you know what, I really like you a lot. With that time, we were already kind of dating,
Okay.
and I can't have you here if you're gonna have needles in my bathroom because of my kids, you know. But if you stop, I'll stop, and I'll marry you.
Wait, if you stop, I'll stop. What does that mean? I'll stop what?
He did coke.
I did, yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So you're missing all the other stuff.
Yeah, he did his coke and I would do my dope. And I was like, well, if I'm quitting, then you need to quit. Like, it's not going to work that way. Like, you can't party and expect me not to party, you know? So, but he was a functioning addict. He wasn't.
Okay, yeah, you're answering my next question because I'm like, where did you have time for this coke? So so Alberto, you're going to work, taking care of your kids, and then in between, all in there somewhere.
Well, I would hustle first because I was the bud boy.
Okay.
The
weed man. There you go.
Ah, okay. Because
So
y'all hit me with some terms, and I'm like, yeah,
Sorry.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
is.
So then after that, then I would do me in the night and stay up all night.
Oh my gosh. So, okay. So you find the needle in the bathroom. You approach her about this because you look, this is not cool. I got kids around. Like, look, we both doing drugs, but the needles we can't be having around. So that conversation did what for you, Kira, when you were approached by him with this?
Nothing.
Oh, girl, I don't know what else to do with you. Every time I think we're there, you're like, no, it wasn't that either.
I was selfish. I didn't care about anybody else. I just wanted to get high. You know, like I'll tell him what he wants to hear. And
I didn't find no more needles, but yeah, she kept going.
I was more careful.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, you were more careful. So, Kira, at what point, what happened? What got to you? At what point were you able to do this change, this flip?
So, we ended up we parked our car and there was an iPad in the car and we ended up taking it. And when we took it, we found out that, we opened it and there was like a bunch of like God papers in there and stuff like
God papers.
Like it was a Christian iPad, but we didn't notice till we got back to the house. And you know, I don't know much about God because I didn't really. My mom was Catholic, but I didn't like grow up like super religious like he did.
Okay.
But I was just, that's not a good thing. Like I don't think it's good to be stealing from people.
I did. I already knew. I already knew when I saw the pictures of the pad of a Christian. Oh no. I ran across the street to try to put it back in the green car, but the green car was gone.
Well, okay, so Berto, you knew what was up. You saw those papers, those God papers, and you said, okay, no, this is not okay.
Yes.
So you tried to return it, but the car was gone. So
I ended up selling.
Okay.
Yeah, but right after that, and I don't remember how long it was. I don't remember
if it was 4 days.
I don't remember if it was the same day or if it wasn't. If it was a couple days later, but we ended up
4 days.
4 days.
But
I should know.
Anyways, he got hit. He got hit by a car, like crossing the street. He ended up getting hit by a car. And
to sell the iPad?
No. I think it was after we sold it.
After we sold it. After we sold it, 4 days later, I got hit by a car crossing the street.
So it was like instant karma.
See, Berto knew. He already knew what was up. He said we shouldn't have done this. He was trying to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you get hit by
back.
So you get hit by this car.
Yes, I hit the windshield with my elbow and my shoulder, and then when I jumped up, it actually hit my ankle, so it fractured my ankle. So I was in a cast. The guy picked me up, took me to the hospital, and then he left.
Wait, okay. The guy that hit you scooped you up. At least he did that. At least it wasn't a hit. So he hit you and then dropped you off at the hospital and then took off.
How long? Hit me so hard, my Bluetooth flew off.
Oh my God! Wait, the ones that hook all the way up in your ear? Oh yeah, no, you got hit hard. That knocked the Bluetooth out your head. Oh no. Okay, but thankfully, thank God, you're still here, still alive. Do you have any sustaining injuries from that?
No, not on that foot. The
No.
ankle is good.
Okay. So praise God for that.
Yes.
At this point, Kira,
Mm-hmm.
is this the spatula for you?
No. No.
No. Good Lord.
No.
What am I
We're
gonna do
getting
with this
close.
girl?
We're really hot.
Okay.
We're close,
Okay.
though.
We're getting there.
We're close.
Okay. Kira, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to stop here because this is like your timeline is crazy. And I know for the sake of time, you guys are kind of, skimming through a lot of the story, but it's just amazing what God can do with people when we allow him in. So we're going to stop here. We're going to take a break because I don't want to ruin the story here. And when we come back, we're going to finally find out what was Kira's spatula moment.
Yes. Yes.
We are going to find out what it was that helped Kira and Alberto, because remember, Alberto's a functioning Coke addict. Which I've never heard of this in my life. I've heard of functioning alcoholics, but I've never heard of a functioning Coke addict. This is amazing. This is the people that we meet. This is beautiful. It really is. Your story is beautiful. So we're going to stop here. We're going to take a quick break. Listeners, when we come back, we're going to get into Kira's spatula moment right after this break. All right, everybody, welcome back. So Kira, I'm getting straight to it. I'm not even going to talk anymore because we all want to know. We are all patiently waiting. That spatula moment.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What took place that kind of forced or forged or pushed you into walking a new path?
Did we get married first or did I go to jail first? Do you remember?
We got married. We got married.
So sorry. I did not
remember,
mean.
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to laugh like that, but that was just the most random question I've ever heard. So was I in jail first or did we get
Yeah, don't do drugs. Your brain will be fried.
All right, Kira. Okay. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Kira. Go ahead. Tell us.
Okay, so we ended up getting married. And we got married really early in our relationship, like within the first 6 months. We just knew it was right. So I was at my methadone clinic. I was still sneaking around and getting high while he was actually, I take that back. I'm sorry. When he got hit by his car, that was my first 4 months clean. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, let me at least see how this goes because obviously I'm on methadone, so I'm not feeling like super withdrawal or anything.
Now, why was that? Why were you able to stay clean for those 4 months? What changed? Was it the fact that he got hit by the car? Did that shake you or?
No, he was off work for 4 months, so I couldn't sneak around anymore. Yeah. I had a babysitter now.
Oh goodness. That'll do it. That will do it. Okay.
So I was still taking Xanax because I had a pretty bad Xanax habit and I would seizure if I didn't take the Xanax. So I wasn't able to just stop taking the Xanax like that. So I figured I would just wing myself down. So as I was at my methadone clinic one day, I decided to go downstairs. There was a Payless.
We had got married.
Yes, we got married in between. So I'm downstairs at Payless and I decided to steal like a $5 pair of earrings. And the guy tried to stop me and I ended up punching him and running. And he chased me like 2 blocks, like down the north side of Chicago. He's chasing me on foot. And I go and I hide in some place. And I guess he flagged down some jump out boys, like the undercover cops that were just driving by. So they came into the place that I was at and I was, on Xanax and methadone. So I was like, I can't run. Like I lost a heel on the run and stuff. And so I'm sitting there and they're like, okay, let's go. You're arrested. Well, I guess because I had priors, because I had went to prison for a year for retail theft. They bumped it to my misdemeanor to a felony. And because I hit security, they bumped it to a robbery. And I was looking at 7 years. And while I was in, I found out I was pregnant with my Sophia.
Oh my God.
That was 3 days later after getting married.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was 3 days. I think it was a little bit longer than that, but it was somewhere right after we had gotten married. I think a week after we got
Maybe
married.
like a week, yeah. About
But
a
it was
week.
like soon after, and then this
It
all
was-
took place.
We just
Yeah, and
got
so I
married.
was like, I'm like, don't bond me out. I'm like, because we need a really good lawyer. I'm going away for some time right here. So we got a lawyer, and he ended up not coming, and he sent his son, and the son had no idea what was going on. But this lawyer is like known, like he is a really good lawyer. So his
Okay.
son automatically gets credit because that's his son.
Okay.
So the judge ended up, the guy was testifying. He had a black eye from where I punched him. And he ended up, oh yeah, crap. So right before I went to court that morning, as I was sitting in my cell,
Alberto, that's why you're there. You help her to stay in the chronological order.
like I said, I can remember stuff. I can't remember what order it comes in.
I got a
Okay.
book. I'm gonna write a book. Okay.
You
Okay,
guys need to submit this for a movie, really, because this is insane. So go ahead.
So as I'm sitting in my cell about to go to court, I was like panicking because I'm pregnant and I'd already lost my older 2 kids. And I was like, it's supposed to be like I thought if I had another kid, like this was going to be my second chance. I just got married. Like I'm off dope at this point. Like I'm not doing heroin. So I'm just in jail. Like it was just different this time. And I decided to pray, not just some little prayer, like, you know, God, just get me out of this, you know, so I can go on with my life. But like, it was like a legit prayer. I'm like, you know, like this is my second chance and I'm screwing it up and I don't want to screw it up. I want to be a mom. I want to have a good life. I want to be married. And it was like, you know, when you feel God, when it's like that bursts through your heart and all of a sudden that peace comes over you and it's like you feel like you're glowing. And that was my very first time I ever felt God. And I was like, God, I swear if you get me out of this, I will never do dope again. I will never lose my kids. I will never do anything to mess this second chance up. Like I promise I will do everything that I'm supposed to do.
Now, Kira, can I ask you this? Can I ask you this quick question?
Yes.
Because you said you felt this peace, you felt something just kind of burst within you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, earlier, I think it was in part 1 of the interview of your story, you said that when you did dope, you felt like that silence, that quiet.
It was totally
can
different.
can you kind of tell our audience, if you can even try to put it in words, what was that difference that you knew that it was God and not something else?
Yes. Okay. So like when I do dope, it makes my mind quiet, right?
Did dope, Kira.
When I did I say
I'm joking, I'm messing with you.
I don't know what I said. Sorry. When I did dope, it was more of like a calm, but it wasn't, it was like just a dark calm. This felt like, you know, when the Care Bears have like that explode, like
yes, their hearts
explodes,
burst. Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And I was like, oh my God. And it was like my whole body was like when you do dope, your whole body gets kind of like tingly, but this was like light was just coming out from all over.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
And it wasn't a piece where it's like everything is just shutting down in your body. It's like something washed over me and just brought peace to me. Wow. And it was nothing I've ever felt before. Like it was really, really amazing.
That's a good description.
Yeah. And I just felt at peace and it was crazy. My anxiety, my fear, everything just disappeared. And then I went to court, you know, and the guy was there testifying against me with a black eye. And I guess because he didn't give me a chance to pay, they said no probable cause and they let me go. But he kept saying like she wasn't going to pay. She hit me. She ran. She wasn't going to pay. And they were like, well, did you give her the choice? Well, he couldn't because I hit him and ran. So she said no probable cause. And I walked out free that day.
You were facing a 7-year charge for robbery. Was it assault and robbery or just robbery?
Just robbery.
You were facing a 7-year charge, pregnant.
Yeah.
Like cold cut, like, yes, you did it. Right?
Already been to the penitentiary. So I've got that X on my back.
You've got that record. And you walked out free and clear. Wow. I mean, so God bursting onto the scene at 16 years old, saving your life at that overdose.
Yeah.
Then again coming in, allowing you to walk free from this charge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to try this again. Surely, Kira, surely now, now your life has changed.
Yes, this was
Ah,
like when I got clean with Berto, when I first got clean, when he got hit by the car and stuff, like
yeah.
I knew like I wanted to be clean and have a good life with him. We got married and I was like, okay, things are good. Like I'm going to stay clean. But I didn't have that for sure that it's going to be forever type thing. It's just like, okay, I'm happy right now. I'm going to be clean. Now we'll see what happens. But as soon as I found out that I was pregnant and I got out of jail and I had the second chance to be a mom, I knew right then there was not going
You
to be
ran with
another.
it. Yeah, you took it and you were like, and you ran with it. Go ahead,
I
Berto.
believe a lot of people, they like to sabotage, what they call sabotage.
Self-sabotage.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And
me. Not
what are you saying that for? Why are you bringing that up?
Well, because maybe when she was already married and everything, she just saw that she was okay, but not completely content with it. So she self-sabotaged herself
by stealing.
by stealing.
Because
and
that's
going,
what I've always done. Things would go good and I'd do something stupid just to mess it up, not even on purpose.
Exactly.
I wasn't comfortable doing good,
Plus, Xanax
Wow.
helped none. She
Yeah.
thought she was invisible.
Invincible.
Yeah. And sometimes, and I'm not saying in your case, but sometimes some people don't feel like they deserve it or that they're good enough to have that something good in their life. You're like, don't you know who I am? Don't you know what I do? Like, this is
Yes.
crazy. So that's
And
interesting that you said that.
I also believe a lot of people think about themselves like that, and that's why they think that Jesus isn't that they're not good enough to be forgiven.
Whew, man, Berto, you gonna open up a whole new episode. Not good enough to be forgiven or loved. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So, Kira, so you walk out of this sentence free and clear. You have your daughter, you have your marriage. What now is your new life? What is like your new mindset, your new outlook on life? How was that forming inside of you? Like, what were you because to go from that street life and hustling and drugs to now to a total flip, like it's a flip. You're married, you have a child, you're off of the drugs. What was going on mentally for you and spiritually in this case?
Well, it wasn't I realized that God was real, but I didn't really come to the Lord yet. Like he just kind of showed me that he was there. But I pretty much, I don't know. I started going back to school. I did an online course and got my associates because I had dropped out of high school. So I just tried to, just find something productive to do. And it ended up being school. And then I started a business eventually. And I don't know, everything just kind of was falling into place. Like I wasn't doing anything. I was just enjoying doing nothing for once. My whole life has been hustling and trying to find places to go and places to chill and places to sleep and money. And it was just so nice to just have a house and to just relax in.
So were you able to cut heroin just cold? Were you going to groups? Were you going to therapy? Like,
No, I was on methadone.
okay.
So I have like those super cravings. I've done the AA, thing. I'm not really all about that. I mean, because I still smoked weed and stuff. And it was never a problem for me because it's more for like anxiety. And they're really against that type of stuff. And I
Okay.
felt like it just wasn't the path for me to go down again.
So just between you and Berto. So at this point for you, because we didn't forget you were Mr. Functioning Coke addict over there. At what point for you were you able to kind of turn things around?
No comment.
No, I think it was about the same time as me.
Wait, I was like, wait a minute. You have turned things around.
No, he's goofy.
Trust me.
Yes, no, he's goofy. No, I think it was around the same time that he quit as well. Like right around the time I got Yeah, I think right after you got hit by a car, because I was like, you can't be doing that stuff if I can't do it. You know,
Okay.
like it's not gonna happen.
So together you guys were kind of just working with each other, encouraging each other through it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think a lot has to do with love too. If when
Yeah.
you have somebody there with you,
Yeah, we were
it really
happy.
lifts you up.
And that's the thing. I think we were both just broken and sad, and we both been through a lot of crap in our life, and we were just trying to numb it out. And when we found each other and like we found like real love, that's how we knew it was right. That's how everyone's like, oh, you're crazy to get married so soon. And I'm like, no, dude, like you don't understand. Like both of us, like we were so happy. Like we didn't need the drugs
Picked
anymore.
each other up.
Yeah.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
that is just so so beautiful, so beautiful. So we're nearing the end of the broadcast right now. And I'm gonna let you guys let everybody know, let the listeners know what it is that you guys are into now, because you are into some stuff.
Mhm.
And I just also want to say that there might be a part 3, because we still didn't even get to the part of
We meet Jesus
you
Christ.
where yes.
That's a whole other crazy
Oh,
story.
Yeah. Were
that's
you
where everything just changed.
Yeah.
so we may if that's okay with you guys, I may have to have you on for a part 3.
Definitely.
That's
You
cool.
got to hear the last part because this is where it's getting good.
Yes, yeah, because woo, okay, you guys got a movie deal cooking up. I can smell it.
Yeah.
I can smell
Yeah.
it. All right. So as we go ahead and exit the broadcast, if you guys would like to go ahead and share, because you have a couple of exciting things going on. So you mentioned the business, and then if you don't mind, if you don't want to say it, that's fine. You don't have to say it, but you have another little thing that you guys are doing. So go ahead.
What, our road trip, you mean?
Yes, if you want to
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yes. Okay. So I started a business. It's an herbal business. I sell kratom and CBD products. So it's basically just all natural botanicals that I sell. And recently, after this whole being home all year because of COVID, we decided to get an RV, and we're just gonna go travel. And if the Lord brings us to somebody that needs us, you know, get some packets. We got a bunch of books and clothes, and we're going to get little care packets, and we're going to be going through where the hurricane hits. So, just spreading some love everywhere we go.
Yeah, I think that is so beautiful. Go ahead, Berto. What were you gonna say?
I said we'll be praying for people, talking to people about Jesus and how he has changed our life, and that he loves everybody. Everybody the same. Nobody is specifically special. He's for everyone.
Mhm.
Yes, he is. Right. He does not care where you've been, what you've done. He loves all of us just the same. You are so
Merciful and
right.
forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are so right. So, if anybody is interested, are you guys accepting any more donations at all? If
Yeah.
anybody wants to help, I just think that this is such a beautiful twist to your story, that where you guys were, well, not, I don't think Berto, but Kira, you mentioned at one point you were out on the streets and things like that. Berto, were you ever out on the streets like that at any point in time? I know you said you used to run with a gang and stuff, but
Yeah, I got so many places to stay in the shy. Everybody loves me.
Berto, you need your own show. That's what this is about. He needs his own show. But I just love how the story changes from Kira, you being out on the streets and stuff, and you guys out there hustling, and now you're going to take your new light, new love that you found through Christ Jesus, and you guys are going out on the road, and you're sharing that love and that light with other people that may be in need, and you have no clue who you're about to come across. That's the beautiful thing about this.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
are you guys taking any more donations from
Yep.
people?
Yep.
Monetary, clothes?
Yes.
Yeah. We'd be
Fried
willing to
goods?
do whatever. We got a whole bunch of storage underneath our RV, so we're gonna just pack everything up
We'll
and
load her up and take everything
give
for
it
people,
everywhere.
whoever needs.
Because Hurricane Sally just went through, and now this next hurricane is on its
Oh my
way. We're
God.
going right afterwards.
So we're going to be praying for your safety, of course.
Yeah.
How can people get in contact with you to donate items? What's the
Um,
best way?
Probably through my cell phone if you want to put my cell up, or they can get it through you.
Okay, is it the same number for your business, Chicago
Yeah.
Botanicals? Okay, great. So everyone out there, I'm sorry, I know we went a little bit longer, but this is just so good. If you would like to donate anything to Kira and Berto as they go and travel across, I'm about to say, yeah, you guys are traveling across the country.
Well, we're going to Texas first. We'll make sure.
Okay, so they're starting out over in Texas, and I think you said Louisiana earlier, like you're going to be driving
Well, we're
through.
going to go through Louisiana down to Texas.
Okay, so they're hanging out down here at the bottom of the US, but wherever you are, if you would like to donate, or if you are interested in their natural herbal business called Chicago Botanicals, correct?
Yes.
You can reach them at 312-273-8152. Go ahead and send them a text and yeah, and donate or reach out in regards to their business. You guys are so beautiful, really. I just feel your love like bursting through this camera right now. And I hope our listeners can feel it as well. You guys are really beautiful, and I'm just so excited to see what God did with your lives. Like he took a hot mess,
I know.
a hot mess, and turned it into something beautiful, just like he does.
It's been a beautiful 9 years that we've been together. Beautiful 9 years. So
yes, and Kira, congratulations again for those rebels who don't want to go back to listen to part 1. Congratulations again on your 9 years of being clean from heroin. And and you guys just, you know what, keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing it. It's beautiful and I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will have you for part 3 because we need that grand finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy up in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, it does. That one gets really, really deep. So I'm going to be so excited to have you guys for part 3 so that you can go ahead and give us that finale of your story. Is there anything else that you would like to let our listeners know before we go ahead and end?
Trusting God for everything, literally. And no matter what happens, there's always going to be something good that comes from it if you can just wait through the storm.
Yes, most of the time I say Jesus makes things happen in your life and he puts it in a puzzle. That puzzle he puts in pieces, and down the line, if you're really seeking God, he's going to help you during the whole time. Even when you look back, even before you met Jesus, you're going to see that he was there.
That he had been there the whole entire time.
The alleys.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. Listeners, thank you for hanging in there, and just hang on for just a moment. Coming up next.